What is going on, guys? We are back with another video here on Morning Aquatics and Reptiles. Today we're going to show you how to clean a Aquaclear70 filter, but just for the record, it does apply for every single Aquaclear filter on there, whether it's the 20, the 50, the 70, the 110, or yeah, the 110. This clean method will be able to apply to all of these filters, and you can use this method no problem. Stay tuned. So first thing you want to do, unplug your filter. This way there is no more flow going to it, there is nothing else that can possibly get in the way of it, and there is no way you can blow your motor to your filter while you are cleaning it. Now you want to take the lid off. It just comes off nice and easy. After you do that, the other thing you want to do is get a towel, because I'm not exactly going to take the filter off the back of this thing. Now, next thing you want to do is just start taking things out like this. I did not exactly set this up in the best way, in the best method possible, so that means I'm going to have to do it a little bit differently. So I'm going to have a little net, and I'm basically just going to take out all of my other biological media that I have in here, and just throw it right in my net, making sure that I hopefully don't get any in the tank itself. Now, I tend to love biological media, so there's going to be a lot in here, a lot more than you're probably going to need or want. Biological media is what helps sustain a tank, though, so that's the reason why I use so much of it. After you get enough of your biological media out, you're just going to take the whole thing right like this. And this right here is only so black because of the substrate I had in here before, but typically black is not exactly good. But in any event, it can also mean a lack of maintenance on my part, so it's pretty much a combination of both of those two things, although you can easily rinse both of these out. If you decide you don't want to rinse them out and you just rather throw them out, that's fine too, nothing wrong with that. But I like to rinse and reuse because it helps, again, with the biological media and beneficial bacteria for a tank. And especially with an axolotl, stability is what you want and is what you're looking for. The water parameters tend to need to stay around the same area, but it's usually pretty good. But now that I have all of it out like this, now I'm going to go rinse this stuff off, and I'll be back. An important side note here is that when you clean your filter, you should use either A, tank water, or B, well water. If you have well water, then you can use that if you want, but the best method to cleaning a filter is always going to be with the tank water, just because you already have all of the chlorine and all those harmful chemicals completely taken care of, and they are not going to kill the beneficial bacteria you already have growing in your filter. Okay, so now that we are back from cleaning out all of our media that goes into our Aquaclear70 filter over here, we are going to re-put it into the filter and get it running. Mind you, I also did take all the loose biological media and put that in media bags, just because it makes it a lot easier when you're taking it out, as you saw in the first half of this video where I had to literally take out every single one of them by hand, individually. So this is just a nice easy way to make it easier for yourself. Highly recommend doing this if you haven't. Also realize though that this right here is all you're going to get with the original one plus a carbon bag. I don't typically run carbon on many of my tanks, unless I'm trying to get rid of a chemical that I used in order to treat sickness or whatever might happen. This right here is pretty much all additional that I put in myself, I love biological media, especially in this case where my axolotl needs every bit he can get. Also, mind you, the algae on the back walls and the side walls, I kind of like. Some people don't. To me, it just helps with the ecosystem that you're creating in the tank. Anyways, that's why I do that. Also, that pipe has to be cleaned off a little bit, which we can handle no problem. But in any event, we're gonna get all this stuff back into the tank. So we're gonna take this and just basically drop it in like that. The closer you hold the two tabs right here together, the easier it's gonna be to get it down. Then you let them go, they just expand like that. Now we're taking our media, putting it in there. You want to make sure it's all nice and flat and whatnot, even though with biological media it doesn't particularly matter if it's flat or not. I just like to make sure it's all nice and even because the amount I'm putting in here is going to be a lot. And I tend to like to tuck these little ends to the top one down the side a little bit, just so it's not gonna start floating. And there we go. If you had carbon in here, you would put your biological media in first and then your carbon, or vice versa. It really at that point just depends on a personal preference standpoint, not necessarily a what's right and wrong standpoint, because it doesn't matter the layer, how you layer them, they're going to do the same thing anyways. Now you want to prime it, or put water in it at least, so it doesn't just go dry. So I tend to do this. Grab a nice little bucket that I use specifically for my tanks. This is not used for anything else. And then fill this up. Fill up the back section of water until I see that. And then I will plug in my filter. There we go. Alright, so it's gonna make these noises at first. It will get there. Don't really worry about it too much. I just tend to put some more water in. I'm gonna do this right here. I find that it works a little bit better if you do it this way. But you are going to see some air bubbles coming up. That's basically the tube clearing itself out. And then it will start running shortly after that. Okay, so we now have our filter completely back up and running. I did have to clean out the intake tube because of how clogged up it was. But all in all, we are doing pretty good. So I have no complaints. We got a clean filter, a happy axolotl. The only thing left to do now is to take the lid to the tank and put it right back on top. Now you might notice a little debris floating around here. That's perfectly fine. That's only because of what was trapped inside the filter. But overall, this is how it goes. It is actually getting a little fogged up because the AC is off my room, and we're already back up to 67 degrees in my axolotl tank, which is not good. But he is doing pretty good right now, and he now has a clean filter filtering his water. The only thing left to do is to take your lid and to put it back on. And there we go, all set. Alrighty guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe for more for this channel. And until next time, I'll see you later.